Can XRP really go to 3 digits overnight? This question is everywhere in the XRP community right now. And today, I am going to give you the most honest, most complete answer to this question that exists. Because most of the content you are seeing on this topic is either pure hype or pure dismissal. Neither one is useful to you. Here is where I stand. The mathematical case for 3-digit XRP is real. The infrastructure being built around XRP right now is real. The institutional adoption is real. But the timeline, and specifically the overnight part, is where most people are getting carried away. And understanding the difference between the destination and the timeline is the most important thing any XRP holder can know right now. Because here is the truth. You do not need XRP to go to 3 digits overnight to change your financial life. You just need to be positioned correctly before the move happens. And the people who will capture the most from XRP's next major move are not the ones predicting the most dramatic scenario. They are the ones who are quietly dollar cost averaging at discounted prices right now, while the rest of the world is in maximum fear. Let me break down the full picture for you today. The math behind 3-digit XRP, why the overnight scenario is unlikely, but the long-term case is strong, what you should actually be doing right now, and what the current technical setup is telling us about the near-term price action. Welcome to XRP Verified, daily XRP analysis built honestly for the US investor. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's get into it. Let me start with the mathematical case for 3-digit XRP, because it is real, and it deserves to be explained properly rather than dismissed or exaggerated. The core argument is this. XRP is not just a cryptocurrency that people buy hoping it goes up. It is designed to function as a bridge asset, neutral liquidity that converts between any two currencies in seconds with near zero fees and no intermediaries. The global cross-border payments market processes approximately $150 trillion every single year. The current system, SWIFT, takes 1 to 5 days to settle, charges $25 to $100 per transaction, and runs through up to 5 correspondent banks as intermediaries. XRP settles in 3 seconds. Transaction cost is $0.00002. 0 intermediaries. Now here is where the math gets interesting. For XRP to function as a bridge asset at scale, and to actually hold and transfer the liquidity needed to settle trillions of dollars in transactions, the price of XRP has to be high enough that the available supply can represent that value without causing massive slippage. David Schwarz, Ripple's CTO, has said on multiple occasions that XRP needs to be in the hundreds to thousands of dollars per coin to facilitate the large financial markets it is being built to serve. This is not a price prediction. It is a mathematical requirement. Low price plus quadrillion dollar volume equals too much slippage and too much price impact to be usable. Now add the other markets on top of cross-border payments. Real-world assets on the XRP Ledger have already grown 100 times, from $50 million in January 2025 to over $5 billion today. The DTCC processes $4.7 quadrillion in securities annually and has Ripple Prime inside its tokenization working group. The global derivatives market is estimated at over $1 quadrillion in notional value. The US stock market is moving toward real-time tokenized settlement in 2026. When you add up even a fraction of those markets flowing through XRP rails, the implied price requirement becomes extraordinary. That is the mathematical foundation for 3-digit XRP, and it is grounded in real numbers, not wishful thinking. Now, let me talk about the overnight part, because this is where I want to be completely honest with you. The switch flip scenario that circulates in the XRP community goes like this. The Clarity Act passes. Banks and institutions get legal permission to use XRP at scale. They have already been piloting the technology. JP Morgan settled a tokenized US Treasury on the XRP Ledger in 5 seconds. MasterCard selected Ripple as one of 30 partners for its AI payment system. The moment the regulatory barrier falls, all of that piloted technology goes live simultaneously, and the demand flood hits instantly. That scenario is not impossible. Regulatory green lights have historically triggered fast and violent price moves in any asset class. The moment a dam breaks, The water does not flow gradually. It rushes. But here is the honest reality. Institutional deployment does not happen overnight, even after regulatory clarity. Banks move methodically. Compliance processes take time. Integration timelines span quarters, not days. The demand that three-digit XRP requires is not a single switch being flipped. It is hundreds of institutions across dozens of countries, each going through their own internal approval and deployment process. And there is one more honest point that most XRP content will not say directly. XRP is not the only blockchain being considered for institutional settlement. Ethereum has significantly more total tokenized assets than XRP right now. BlackRock is invested in Ondo and other chains alongside XRP. MasterCard partnered with approximately 30 companies, not XRP exclusively. The institutional landscape is not winner-take-all. Multiple chains will serve different roles. XRP's role as the neutral bridge asset for cross-border liquidity is uniquely strong, but it is not the only role that will be monetized. Three-digit XRP is a realistic long-term destination. Overnight, three-digit XRP is an extraordinary claim that requires extraordinary circumstances all converging simultaneously. Be excited about the destination. Be grounded about the timeline. Now let me tell you what actually matters for your financial outcome, because this is more important than any price prediction. XRP did a 350 times in 2017. It ran from approximately 1 cent to nearly $4. People who bought at a penny and held through the volatility captured life-changing returns. But here's the thing. Those people did not need to predict that XRP would do a 350 times. They just needed to be positioned before the move happened. Right now, XRP is trading around $1.13. It has fallen approximately 71% from its July 2025 all-time high, near $3.50. The MVRV ratio, which measures whether recent buyers are sitting on profits or losses, is in negative territory, signaling oversold conditions historically associated with accumulation phases rather than continued collapse. The people who will capture 10 times, 15 times, or 20 times returns in the next bull cycle are not the ones waiting for confirmation that XRP is going up before they buy. They are the ones consistently dollar cost averaging right now, buying at $1.13, $1.10, $1.05, building a position at discounted prices while everyone else is afraid. And here's the mathematical reality of that approach. If you dollar cost average into XRP during this bear market, and XRP achieves even a fraction of its three-digit potential, say 10 times to 20 times from current levels, that alone represents the kind of return that changes financial trajectories for most investors. You do not need 589 XRP to build significant wealth from this position. You need 10 times. And 10 times from current levels is far more historically precedented for XRP than any overnight scenario. Dollar cost averaging is not a consolation prize for people who missed the top. It is the strategy that the most successful long-term crypto investors have used through every cycle. Consistent buying during fear, patient holding through volatility, selling into strength during the next bull run rather than holding all the way back down. Now let me give you the current technical picture, because you need to know where XRP stands right now and what levels to watch. XRP is currently trading around $1.13 to $1.15. The chart is testing the $1.19 to $1.27 resistance zone that has been capping every recent recovery attempt. Volume has been fading on upside moves, which means buyers are not yet stepping in with enough conviction to push through resistance. The two critical levels for the near term are $1.19 and $1.27. $1.19 is immediate support. As long as price holds above this level, the short-term structure remains constructive, and buyers are defending the recent lows. $1.27 is the key breakout trigger. A clean daily close above $1.27 with strong buying volume would shift the structure from bearish to neutral and open the path toward $1.64 and then $2. If XRP continues to get rejected at $1.19 and $1.27 without a decisive break higher, honest downside targets of 90 cents to 85 cents remain on the table. Those are not the base case expectation, but they are what the chart structure allows if buyers continue failing to step up. The Clarity Act, targeting mid-July. Japan FSA XRP ETF in late-stage review. Post-SpaceX liquidity rotation, and the Genius Act implementation on July 18th all represent potential catalysts that could provide the external buying trigger that turns the technical picture from bearish to bullish. None of them are guaranteed to hit on a specific date, but multiple catalysts converging in a compressed window creates elevated probability of a meaningful move. Exchange supply at 8-year lows. ETF inflows continuing at 118 million in May. 72% of recent XRP liquidations were short sellers. The data underneath the price continues to point toward accumulation, not distribution. Your full summary for today. The mathematical case for 3-digit XRP is real and grounded in actual numbers: cross-border payments, tokenized securities, DTCC, quadrillion-dollar clearing volumes, and David Schwartz's own public statements about required price levels. This is not hype, it is arithmetic. The overnight scenario is possible, but unlikely. Institutions deploy methodically after regulatory clarity, not instantaneously. Multiple chains will serve institutional roles. XRP is uniquely positioned for bridge asset and cross-border liquidity functions, but is not exclusively selected by every institution. The realistic opportunity, 10 times to 20 times from current levels in the next bull cycle through consistent dollar cost averaging at discounted prices right now. That alone creates transformational financial outcomes for patient, positioned investors. If 3-digit XRP does happen faster, the people dollar cost averaging right now will benefit the most. If it takes multiple years, the people dollar cost averaging right now will still capture the bull cycle gains. Dollar cost averaging during maximum fear is the strategy that works in either scenario. Technical picture: $1.19 support, $1.27 breakout trigger, honest downside of 90 cents to 85 cents if buyers fail. Mid-July catalyst window converging with Clarity Act, Japan ETF, and Genius Act implementation. Stay grounded, stay positioned. Do not bet everything on any single timeline. Do not let short-term fear push you out of a long-term position. Hit the like button if today's breakdown gave you value. Subscribe and turn on the bell for your daily XRP update. I will see you tomorrow. Stay sharp, stay patient, and as always, stay verified.